Hi, welcome today. Today I'm going to be talking about guitar, specifically acoustic type guitar, and I think most of you probably know by now I'm an electric guitar player. I like solid or semi-solid, semi-hollow body guitars. That's what I started on. That is my passion. And I've owned acoustic guitars over the years. My old standby is my Ovation Standard Balladeer. This is a US made guitar with what they called a lyricord back. Sort of like a, not quite carbon fiber, but kind of a plastic fiberglass type thing. The gentleman that was behind Ovation Guitars, if I'm remembering correctly, also had something to do with, I think, helicopters or aeronautics or something like that. And so he was thinking more modern, space age type things. And I have to admit a couple of things about the Ovation. The first thing is, back in the 70s, and I don't remember exactly when Ovation got started, but they were the ultimate on-stage performing acoustic electric guitar. For good reason. They didn't feedback as much if you had a internal type mic system. If you try to mic these, they just don't sound as good. Have anything there, I can do it this way. That's just being picked up right now on a wireless mic. I'm not going to plug this one in. You've heard it on my recordings and things. I do enjoy adding that acoustic guitar sound in a fair number of my more modern style music videos or music recordings. But another thing that is not usually enamored by people with Ovation guitars is the back is rounded. And it's fine for me to sit on the lap and things like that. Standing up, it kind of doesn't have a good flat area. It kind of wants to move a little bit. Some people complain about that. It's never bothered me. I don't luckily have a big belly that would aggravate that, and I can understand, some of that problem. So just comfort standing and holding it, and most of my playing I do stand up, whether I'm recording or whether I'm playing live. In a studio, this is my studio, and quite often I'm playing right here or over on the other side over here, something like that. But I've been thinking about, can I get a little bit better acoustic sound in some of my recordings if I want just acoustic guitar? And I don't record that very often, but there are times where it would have been nice. So, I have been going to, there are 3 guitar shops here in my little tiny town of Corvallis, Oregon. It's a college town. That might have something to do with having 3. We used to have 4, and one, the major music store in town, closed down. So now we have 3 guitar shops, basically. And one of them has a little broader range than the other ones, getting into a little bit of used keyboards and things like that, drums, whatnot. The other one is almost exclusively guitar. They've got, I think, 2 mandolins on the wall right now. Maybe a banjo, but I doubt it. And no percussion, things like that. Guitars, amps, that type of thing. The other one is, they've got some world music type instruments along with guitars, and a little more folky. They do have a fair selection of mandolins. Probably the biggest and most versatile, the one that carries the keyboard stuff and the drums. They have violins and things like that. So I've been visiting those music shops, and I've kind of focused or narrowed my focus down to one of them. And I've been going back there occasionally, trying guitars out. And I got one. This is a Breedlove. And the name is very long, and it's confusing to me at this point in time. I think it is their Exotic S, so on and so forth. It is an import model. It is not made here in Bend, Oregon, which is where the company is based, and they make some beautiful and very wonderful sounding US made guitars, as well as their import series. Yesterday I sat for probably 3 hours going back and forth between about 3 or 4 guitars. I started with 4 and I narrowed it down to 2, which was a US made and an import. This import. I got the import for 2 reasons. The US made one was all solid wood, sounded beautiful. It wasn't quite as vibrant sounding to my ears, and I'm old. My ears are worn. I'm getting tired. But the US made guitar was $2,100 if I remember correctly. This guitar was $800. Plus it had a $100 off sale that Breedlove is promoting right now. This is part of their Eco guitar line. And I just couldn't see, because I have a hard time spending $2,000 on any guitar. The other guitar was nice. This was nice. I honestly preferred the sound of this just a little bit more than the other one for my needs. And controls are right here instead of mounted to the inside of the top at the sound hole. The battery is accessible right here instead of going through the sound hole to change batteries, which meant you had to take the strings at least partially off to change a battery. Not as convenient for my needs. So there's a lot that I liked about this. Probably the biggest like was I didn't have to spend as much money to get what I felt was a wonderful guitar. This one, again, just coming through this mic. So now, give me a minute, I'm going to plug this in and we're going to hear it just through my basic DAW system and through that recording. Stay tuned. Okay, we are back, hooked up through my Focusrite 2i2 interface. Just going into my regular DAW of GarageBand, and I've just selected a real basic, I forget what they call it, but it has basically no effects on it, and then I will add some effects later on. But this is with a Fishman Presys I, I think, preamp and piezo system. Let me turn on my DAW. There we go. Now it'll be recording. Now, I'm going to re-amp this next part instead of wasting time, but I'm going to change some settings, probably add a little bit of chorus or something like that. I will list all the details of what I'm going through here in the comment or the description box below this video. So, that was with the preamp system turned up at about halfway, something like that, so I didn't clip on my recording. Let me turn that off. So I will take some close-up pictures and include those pictures back in some of that playing portion. Just watching me play is nothing that interesting. I'm a fairly basic guitar player when it comes to acoustic. Again, this will be coming just through my wireless mic. I do love the sound of a nice acoustic guitar and people that can play them extremely well, which isn't me. I do appreciate that, and I appreciate the sound of a nice acoustic guitar tone. This by itself does sound a little bit nicer than my Ovation. Am I going to get rid of my Ovation? Oh heavens no. I still think that is a more robust and durable guitar if I need to take one out and play live somewhere, which I don't do a lot, but there's always that option. There's always that option. This one isn't bad because the back and sides of this are a laminate, but Breedlove uses a different type of lamination system in their guitars. It actually projects a little bit more than most other guitar manufacturing companies, the way that they do their laminated back and sides. Most of those use a little softer middle layer. And Breedlove doesn't believe in that because they feel that that deadens and dampens the sound and the vibration. I did try a lot of other guitars. And I won't go into all the names, but Alvarez. I did try one Martin. They're usually way out of my price. No, I tried two different Martins, I'm sorry. They're usually way out of my price range. There was one that was used and more affordable. I just didn't like the sound. Another reason why I was focusing on Breedlove is because my home is Oregon. It's not where I was born and raised, but my home, excuse me, my home is Oregon. Breedlove, I used to carry Breedlove guitars when I had a music store. 20 or more years ago is when I closed that. At that time, Breedlove was a very unique guitar manufacturing company, and they were trying to cater more towards the player that was more of a virtuoso in more single line things. Their guitars played very, very even, whether you were playing here or strumming an open chord. Very even. They had this brace system on the top that helped to even out that vibration. so they weren't quite as loud as some of the guitars. They're not as loud as this. And I loved those guitars, but I wasn't that kind of a player. Otherwise, I would have owned a Breedlove back then. They were just starting to make some of the strummers guitar. And there was another one that I had besides my Ovation. There was another one that I had at that time. I ended up selling that one from another company. It was fine, but it just wasn't me. It was a bigger body and things like that. And this is what they have as their concert body size. They have one that is larger, 16 inches across, and I'll put information from the Breedlove website about this guitar down in the description box also. But I like a little bit smaller body size. Again, I'm used to much thinner bodied electric guitars, and that's what I prefer to play, to be quite honest. But I wanted to get a little bit better sounding acoustic guitar to be able to add into some of my music mixes. I want to thank you for watching today and putting up with my rambling about adding a new tool to my musical toolbox. And I like Breedlove because they're in Oregon. That's what I was getting at before. An Oregon-based company that has some very, I think, good global practicing in the way that they're sourcing their woods, the woods that they choose to use. This is myrtle. It's grown here in Oregon. Solid myrtle top, laminated myrtle back and sides. I want to thank you for watching today. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. Click the little bell right down over there so that you can be notified the next time I post a video. It could be where this guitar gets added into the musical mix on one of my music videos. It could be taking a closer look at one of the instruments in my collection, whether it be guitar or mainly the Native American style flute. Could be a tutorial on how to play the Native American style flute, one of the easiest melodical instruments in the world to learn how to play in its basic 5-note pentatonic minor scale, or its relative major. And I have tutorials on that. Could be a music video where the Native American style flute kind of gets the spotlight. I let it sing the melody line instead of me. I prefer that. I do a little bit of singing now and then, but I try to avoid that. Flute could be by itself, or it could be with many other different types of instruments. I want to thank you again for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.